Albacore in Alaska? A Baja hurricane pushes up the Baja Peninsula. Our charters are selling out. Only one left on the Pride, October 5th through the 7th, with a few spots available. A 48-pound local Dorado, tremendous catch. Some weather coming, additional weather, some windy weather on Friday afternoon. The grand premiere of our Dorado fiasco on board the Amigo, and I mean that in a good way. It was crazy. And also tonight, Kevin Nakata live on the Friedman Adventures live broadcast. You know what time it is. It's not only time for a cup of coffee, it's time for the morning briefing. Hey folks, thanks for joining us for the morning briefing. What an incredible morning it is. It's gorgeous. It's a little foggy down here. It's got a different feel to it. It's kind of cool, which is a nice break from all that heat we've been having. But man, I'll tell you, fishing is really, really outstanding. First of all, Sure Strike Lodge up in Alaska, catching albacore. Check that out. How incredible is that? And Big Bear Lake, my good friend Andrew Deal and his son Dennis and daughter Isabel were there, where they caught this unusual sculpin fish. I didn't even know they had those things in freshwater. I better bone up because we're starting our freshwater coverage this month. They also had some trout. Moreover, they just had a wonderful time together, father, son, and daughter, and we always love to see that really, really good stuff. All right, let me talk to you about Hurricane K, which is down below Cabo. We're going to end up, it looks like it's on a path to end up not as a hurricane, probably as a tropical storm, at Cedros Island. So anytime you have some impoverished people and you get a lot of rainfall, I'm not worried about the wind, I'm worried about the rainfall, you can have some problems. So our Mexico efforts are even going to be more important on January the 6th, and I'll talk to you more about that. All the clothing donations you've been giving us and everything else will go to some much needed people, and perhaps now it's even more important than ever. We'll see how this all plays out. Now, for those of you who are worried about a hurricane hitting Southern California, stop worrying about it. I'm getting tons of texts and messages. Hurricanes draw their strength, their energy from really warm water, not like this warm water. This is not warm enough. Now, we may get some substantial rainfall and we'll have that tropical feel, maybe some thunder and lightning this weekend, and we'll get a big south swell. All of that perhaps will make our fishing even better in the long run, shoving more warm water, more tropical influence up the Baja Peninsula into our zone, and perhaps right along with it, some more yellowfin tuna and Dorado, and who knows, we haven't seen that blue marlin yet, we haven't seen that wahoo yet. Wouldn't surprise me in this crazy year. So we are going to get some rain, or more than likely going to get it this weekend, but you don't have to worry about a hurricane hitting us. It looks like it's going to run parallel to the Baja coast. And once again, that's the perfect scenario for pushing more and more warm water up into this direction. Probably see a big swell and hopefully not too much wind on it. Although, as I mentioned to you previously, Friday afternoon, it's going to start to blow. It's not as bad as it was forecast. Local areas are going to be okay. Offshore is where it gets a little bit more on the windy side. We'll keep our eyes on that for you very, very closely. How about this 48-pound gorgeous flathead? I mean, that is one heck of a Dorado, and it goes to our dear friend Miles, who made that catch. Miles Nichols on the Maritime 3, a private boat here out of Huntington Beach, California, with a spectacular catch. And it should be noted, that fish was in the fish hole, bled out and everything else for 4 hours before they plopped it on the scale and saw that 48-pound gorgeous fish. Don't forget, by the way, I just want to add this in. We'll be at Bass Pro this Saturday, 1 p.m. Saturday at 1 p.m. right in front of the Big Bass Tank, doing our podcast with a studio audience. You are all invited to enjoy it, to participate in it, to win some raffle prizes. Can't wait to see you. Saturday, Rancho Cucamonga, Bass Pro Shops. That is going to be a lot of fun. All right, let me take you south of the border to our Pongero friends down there out of Ensenada, and they continue to do really, really well. For those of you who like to cross the border as I do and enjoy Baja hospitality along with the great food and the wonderful people of Mexico Lindo, I'm telling you, it's really good fishing down there right now. They're hammering on those kelps, and they're catching copious amounts of Dorado, a few yellowtail. There's more yellowfin tuna popping into the picture down there. There's still the occasional marlin caught. It's really great ponga fishing. Arnie Mann, find him on Facebook. He does a great job. Costa Baja Sport Fishing. Diego Nuno is a deckhand on board the Royal Star, and he's got an 18-foot Parker down there. He's presently on the RS, but he's got a guy, a really capable guy, running that Parker for him, and they do great stuff. I've fished with them many, many times. Absolutely love it. It's time to get my butt down there again and start fishing. So for those of you who like that unique opportunity to fish with just a friend or two on a ponga, it's so much fun. And man, I'll tell you, I hope you get across the border very, very soon and are able to do that. Let's pop back into Gringolandia here and talk a little bit about what is going on for the San Diego fleet. It is still outstanding fishing. Really great Dorado fishing for the most part. The Ranger 85, 28 guys, 280 Dorado in absolutely tremendous fishing. They also had 28 bluefin and 6 yellowfin tuna. I talked to Scott Buchert, who's a crew member on the Ranger 85 last night, and he said, Phil, it doesn't get any better. It is really wide open down here. Fabulous fishing. Just doesn't want to slow down. And the most of these bites, you're going to need like 30 to 40 pound fluorocarbon. And of course, choosing a hot bait. I know you're sick of me saying it, but it just needs to be repeated and repeated. I know Mark, deckhand on the Amigo, said that's the way to get a bite. Everybody says it all the time. So that 30 to 40 works really well. However, sometimes you'll even have to drop down to 20 pound, as was the case for Isaac Parcells and his son Ethan, who are on board the Voyager on a 1.5-day trip. Man, that father and son team, those two guys, Isaac and Ethan, are tearing it up all over Southern California. They're really a lovely family, and they fish hard together. They were out, and Isaac said it was the 20 to 30 pound that got bit the best, which presented some problems because you were seeing, of course, a lot of casualties on that 40 to 80 pound bluefin tuna. It made things a lot more difficult, but to get a bite, you had to do it, and you had to change your baits. Now, they focused a lot of their attention on fishing knife jigs and flat falls, and they fished all night long, putting in long hours, winding on those jigs. Ended up with limits of bluefin tuna. Hard to beat that. And of course, Isaac was so impressed, as are we here at Friedman Adventures, with his son Ethan, 7 years old, took a couple of naps here and there, but he just kept fishing and fishing hard, doing a great job. It is so great to see that. All right, some other scores for you, and I'll mix it up between LA Orange County based boats as well as San Diego boats. The Triton up in this neck of the woods, 22.56 Dorado. The Fury out of Dana Wharf Sport Fishing, what a day they had, 270 on the Dorado. And they also had a 255 pound bluefin tuna. I mean, we just can't get used to this. It is way beyond that. They got a little help from a big shark that chewed on the propeller, chewed on the tail of that bluefin tuna, but just a magnificent catch and a great day on the Fury. And remember, when we were in our stop on board the Amigo, we saw the Fury bit wide open and a big old marlin just greyhounding toward us on the Amigo. You'll see that in tonight's grand premiere of our Dorado video. It should be great. Top Gun Maverick has nothing on Friedman Adventures. Darn, it's going to be one heck of a preview tonight. Gale Force with 20 guys 69 on the Dorado. Really good fishing going on. The San Diego, leaving in the morning, fishing till the afternoon, got in a plunker bite on the bluefin tuna. Plunker bites are the kind of bites where you got a fish or two going most all the time. Those are the bites when you've really got to be very, very careful with that fluorocarbon. And by very careful, I mean working hard, fishing the fluoro. We like www.opsonusa.com. Put in FA at checkout, and Greg Brown will send you hugs and kisses. A nice little note he'll write to you, along with a free gift. But you got to fish that, and you might have to drop your hook size down. Okay, so a 1/0 hook, but sometimes even smaller than that. I know, you're sick of it. Choose a good hot bait. Really take your time and choose a good hot bait. That bait doesn't get bit, toss it back, choose another good hot bait. It makes all the difference in the world. It will really change your whole thing. So on the San Diego 35, nice grade bluefin, a lot of that 40 to 80 pound stuff, a yellowfin, 5 Dorado in that plunker style bite. Now, some boats had a little bit more difficulty yesterday here in the LA Orange County area. Still seeing thousands and thousands, and this is no exaggeration, and thousands of flatheads just about everywhere we look. But they got a little bit more finicky. And some people surmise, some captains and crew members surmise that that fish got back on that micro anchovy again. When it gets keyed in on that, it looks at a sardine like it's something it's an alien or something. Like, what the, no man, I want to eat these small chovies. So they kind of key in, get used to that, you know, match the hatch. So what has to happen is that anchovy has to go away. And the voracious appetite of these Dorado, they got to consume their body weight every 24 hours, I think it is. Man, I'll tell you, they'll go through that and we'll be back to some really good fishing again. No lack of Dorado, tons of them around, and it still looks magnificent here. You can even drop down to 15 pound on the Dorado though, because it has been a little finicky for some of the boats not catching those huge numbers. We'll go back to that, but right now you might want to drop down to 15 and a number 2 hook and a good hot bait. That's always something you want to do. We like those blacktail hooks. My friend Sky over there in Hawthorne, California, putting out a great product at a reasonable price. You'll want to check that out. All right, if you want to get on a charter with us, and man, our last one was outstanding. I think we are sold out on our September 21st to 23rd trip. I'll have to check that when I get to the studio. Been running around like a madman doing so many things. So I'll check that. I believe we're there right now, but we still have one last one, October 5th through the 7th. Now, by the way, if you think you heard me saying October 3rd to the 5th about that charter, you're crazy. I would never do that. Actually, I was doing that. I confused the dates. It's October 5th through the 7th on board the Pride. Got a few more spots available, 2-day trip. It is going to be mind-boggling good. I just feel it coming. We're finally into the fall, best weather months here in SoCal, and some tremendous fishing going on. No doubt about that. All right, islands. Todos Santos Island, great yellowtail fishing down there. Coronado Islands, fabulous for the Grande and other boats who've been fishing the Coronado Islands on yellowtail. Barracuda, there's rockfish, it's just fantastic. Up here, Clemente, still a lot of yellows there, 15 to 40, 50 yellows a day. Not out of the question, not many guys fishing it, although long-range boats who are fishing that nighttime bluefin and still doing very, very well at night. Cranking on those fish with the knife jigs, go in there and they pick off a fair amount of yellows and some calico bass, that kind of a thing. Catalina, still scratchy, a little bit of bonita, calico bass, you know, an occasional yellowtail, that kind of a bite going on there. And then Channel Islands up in that neck of the woods, mostly rockfish, but the Aloha Spirit with 10 gorgeous halibut yesterday. And the Island Spirit with my good friend Cody Rogers fishing locally out of Ventura Sport Fishing went 4 for 7 on the WSB. They are still catching white sea bass in the epicenter of white sea bass fishing for the entire world, the Channel Islands. What a great place to fish. It has been magnificent. Ventura Sport Fishing 805-676-3474. If you want to join us on one of our charters, send me a text. I'll send you the list, or better yet, just look in the show description. I think only one more, the 5th through the 7th, and you should jump on that. And, oh, I'm sorry, the Relentless will be on there on a day and a half. That's almost full also. Day and a half, that's out of H&M Landing down there in San Diego. Go to the show description right now. And don't miss our live show tonight. Kevin Nakata, what an expert he is on just about every facet of sport fishing. Kevin is going to put on a clinic for you. You'll be able to ask questions. He's been out recently. He knows what's going on with the bite. I've been out recently. I can talk to you about our experience on the Amigo. and he can talk to you about gear, tackle, best jigs, all of that tonight, 7 p.m. on the Friedman Adventures live show. You are going to love that one. And right before that, the plan is, because I haven't finished editing quite yet, almost, the plan is to premiere our video from our trip on board the Amigo. And there is some crazy action. Marlin, Dorado, big bluefin tuna at night, bluefin in the daytime on Tannerbank, and so much more. Should be great. See you Saturday out there at Bass Pro Rancho Cucamonga. Remember, that's 1 o'clock in the afternoon, right in front of the big bass tank. We'll be doing a podcast. And of course, I want to say thank you to each and every one of you for helping our stats to soar, soar, soar. All right, this has been the morning briefing. It's always great to be with you. I wish you a wonderful day. I take one more sip of coffee in your honor. Delicious. Wish you a great day, and I will see you really, really soon. Tonight, 7 p.m., Saturday, Bass Pro Shops. Have a great day, my friends.